Hi, you guys. Um, Today is February 22nd. It's part of week 7, Transform My Life in a Year. And I think this is really important for me to share because I suffer from depression. And this is part of me, part of my vlogging journey of why I think it's important to vlog. Over the past couple weeks, I've been starting to feel myself slipping away. And I think it's been more than a couple weeks, really, but I've been kind of managing it. But it's becoming a little bit more and more prevalent. And I've documented myself in the last few weeks. So I'm going to give a timeline of just myself and noticing how I'm feeling and seeing myself unravel and catching myself. So I talked to my cousin today who is in the field of wellness, and I was just expressing to her, and she's part of my support system, and she was even saying herself that she recommends that I go ahead and resume some self-care, and I agree with her. And she also has some great health and wellness stuff, and I'm sure she'd be happy to share her stuff. So I'm gonna add her link down on the bottom, but this is how I'm feeling. And I've been trying to catch myself with, I can't even hardly talk because my thoughts are so detached, like my feelings and my thoughts, and I'm so exhausted. I haven't been sleeping well at all. I haven't been finding joy in my regular tasks. As you can see, when you're going to see, I'm saying this whole organizing thing and this whole clearing my space is wearing me out. My relationships are suffering, and my whole even ability to process right now is getting worse. I'm still tired, and I'm grumpy and sad. And yeah, there's some minor little things going on, but in general, there's nothing really, 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 truly big that has caused me any reason to feel this way. So I have to call it what it is. It's the fact that I suffer from depression, and I am on meds, wellbutrin, which is the generic form of bupropion. And I take Adderall for focus and concentration, and I'm just really lethargic. Work has been okay. My appetite has decreased, and my nutrition has subsided. And so, I just want to skip through all the symptoms and get down to the root. I don't know if depression is biological. I know it can be brought upon situations, but a lot of it is biological or neurotransmittal or whatever. And I noticed I had stopped juicing. My weight has fluctuated a lot. I stopped exercising. I stopped eating good and taking all my vitamins. And I'm just going to pick back up from there. I'm just going to start with the basics. I'm going to try to start with the regulars, getting some rest, getting back on top of my diet and nutrition and my exercise. in my meditation and stuff, and then even scheduling an appointment with the therapist and just get back in there and start doing some work on a spiritual level. I know that people who are ascending and stuff, we go through this a lot sometimes, all this clearing and healing. And that's my particular belief system. So I'm so sorry, but this is how I'm feeling right now. So I'm gonna compile this. And I also said, when I first started feeling depressed, I was like, I'm gonna try to share what I'm doing to heal and to get myself in the tools that I know. And I tried to do that. I tried to like get up, get out the house, let things go, not try to be so perfect. I tried to take some time to myself. I tried to go like get my nails done, and it's just starting. It's just here. So that's all. I'll continue with week 8 next week, as I've been doing. So I'll just use my resources and try to find some therapy. I try so hard to like cheer myself up. And like, I'm thankful for like the people in my life who I can be raw and open with and like share my feelings. People like my cousin, and people like my sister friends, and even vlogging. I don't know if this vlogging stuff is actually gonna help anybody else, or if even like the DIY or the other stuff that I do really like makes a difference in the world or whatever. But or if it's just something that makes me feel happy and good and allows me to cope and gives me a sense of direction, or if this is just an exercise that I'm doing for my own well-being. But either way, I'm even grateful for this part of life. So to be able to actively be aware and present and like feel my feelings. And I suffered from alcohol abuse a couple years ago, which is different than like full-on alcoholism or being self-identified or labeled as an alcoholic. Like I had 2 DUIs back to back, and when you have that, you have to have these assessments, and then you have to go to like therapy and rehab and stuff, and they assess like if you're like if you have addiction problems or if it's just like a symptom of other stuff. In my particular situation, it just happened to be a coping mechanism of like underlying depression, untreated depression, untreated ADHD, and regular general life. But sometimes when you have untreated depression, it can manifest into self-medication with recreational or recreational drugs or alcohol. So I know a lot of people don't believe in like medication, period, but there is a difference between like mental health medication, and that doesn't have to be permanent, but I do believe in taking care of yourself. So and I've been very wary of overly consuming. Like I still consume alcohol in moderation. But whenever I start to feel myself spiraling into depression, I always curve the drinking and the partying, because I know that can just be a coping mechanism. So I've stopped going out, and I've explained to my friends. They've been thinking it's been because I've been in a relationship, but it really hasn't. It's been because, like, I know my triggers and I know my symptoms of depression. So I have to be very careful not to self-medicate. But these videos are very short on YouTube, so I have to combine them. And I have to go to work, but I felt like no better time than the present to actually capture this moment. So please look at my next video that has taken place over the last few weeks. And before I even start editing, I think I'm going to go ahead and drink a smoothie and take some vitamins and drink some water. But I just wanted to thank y'all for this long, weird intro, but it is what it is.